All right, guys, are you paying attention? If you're not paying attention, I want you to pay attention to this. Pastor Ken addressing the whole community regarding what has been happening and the disbursement that has been going on. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel and make sure you share this video so that people can also take the necessary step that is needed to be taken by the time you listen to this VN. Once again, I welcome you to the update and listen to this VN by Pastor Ken. And bye for now.
The disbursement saga and what is currently going on at the moment, it appears like certain people, which were the people that were known before, right in this grand ecosystem under the aegis of UAAG, like the likes of Ustaz Dawood, Abdurazak, Yakubu, Pastor Felix, I think that should be Felix Amukwitan or something, then Pastor John, and also some of their gang members that are also into this. With the information that we have, it's like there is a gang up that is presently going up, and some of them are teaming up to really bring down a lot of things. And this information came from Osim, and this is what it says. The UAG is a name which they are using to execute the project. In other words, that UAAG is the project name, but the Sanctuary Wealth Foundation is the name on the document which carries the money and for who to disburse to. Did you get it now? The name of the project itself is UAG, but what actually carries the fund is Sanctuary Wealth. So whenever we talk about Sanctuary Wealth and UAG, those are how they are, the denominations behind them. The Sanctuary Wealth Multipurpose Foundation is the name on the document that actually carries the fund, which is the money, and who is to receive what. Okay, but UAG is just the name that is going to be executing the project, and it was Professor Ken, Apostle Ken Nwakama's NGO that Mama Rita submitted as the second signatory to the grant, then far back. All right, so but the update that we're receiving now is certain people within the grand ecosystem, and these are actually people that are also insiders that knew a bit much about the processes, trying to scuttle the process, the likes of Ustaz Dawood and some other individuals like that, which also we know what Ustaz Dawood did in the past under AGPGN, and it was like as if they were really making move, and everybody was hailing them, and they've done so much, not knowing that they have an ulterior motive alongside with others like that. I don't want to start mentioning names, but he was like the top leader there, and really their names was on every mouth, and it appears like they were gaining momentum, but eventually we saw what actually came out of that process. They moved, but it also appears like they've not stopped on this quest. They still want to bring down the process, since they felt like they were meant to be the one to disburse. Meanwhile, their name is not on the list. Their names, they were not signatory to the grant, and they were not the one to disburse, but they want to scuttle the process, hijack the entire process. Eventually it boils down that they talk about even if there is nothing at all, let people get palliatives from the government, and government came out to debunk the process that they were not having any palliative to share to anybody. So after a while it appears like everything just went down the drain, but it's also appearing now like they are surging up again to pick up another move on this wise to scuttle the process of disbursement. And according to what Hosim said, he said this that is happening at the moment is actually what will send these people's name that we call now into the nearest hospital, and God is about to disgrace them more if they refuse to stop plotting evil. If they refuse to stop plotting evil concerning the country director, and concerning the UAG disbursement process, that all eyes are on them, and not just because of them and their families, but because of every beneficiaries that is meant to receive this fund. People have waited this long not to be scuttled by some greedy people or people who felt like they are power drunk and they just want to be known to be the one to disburse the grant. Now tell me of what importance it is. People don't care to know who disburses it. The rate or the level at which things are at the moment, it doesn't matter. The organ that is disbursing the fund or who is going to disburse the money, what matters to the people right now is that they are hungry. And what people want to know now is that something lands in their account. They don't care who disburse. Peradventure, they cared before to know whether it was UAG or Supreme or St. Rita or Theobarth or what have you, or Power 5 or the one we're talking about now, the AGPGN. But over time, the process has been watered down. And what people are crying after now is money. Money. Not who disburses. Not the power torso. Not the power drunk men. Not those ones who want their names to be written in gold. Hunger does not know whose name was written in gold. And that is what the beneficiaries are after right now. Disburse our money. Because you said it's our money that is coming to us. Disburse it. And let us feed. Let us feed. Some are thrown out of their houses. Some couldn't afford hospital bills. It doesn't mean that it is only when UAG pays that sicknesses or people going to hospital will cease. But at each point in time, every money that is released to people that are in expectations have something to deal with. It has something to deal with. If the money that comes from UAG finally settles certain things for certain people, it doesn't mean that problems have been exhausted. It doesn't mean that problems in this world have ceased to come. After you settle this one, another one will erupt again. Another one, you settle this one, another one is in the waiting. But you see, at least let this one settle one first. Some are thrown out of their houses. Some couldn't afford to pay the bills. Some couldn't feed. Some feed only once a day and they go to bed hungry, wake up hungry children. I was so shocked a couple of days ago while I drove right into my compound, and a woman that I've normally, I used to greets me selling some things, just little things beside the roadside, and she, as I just stepped down a little to avoid the particular potholes, and the woman just came right into my window, almost with a teary eye, and said, "Sir, please, I have something to tell you." I said, "What is it?" And said, "Please, I've not sold anything since morning. And I don't know how I'm going to feed tonight. Me and my children, we've not sold anything since morning." And I looked at her. I almost shed tears. And I had some money on me. I just said, "Well, please, madam, please just manage this." That is just one in many that people are passing through. And I felt moved in me to still find a way to send the woman something. But you see, that doesn't mean that even if you send her something, problem will cease to exist. It doesn't mean that will take care of all the challenges in our life. But at that point in time, at least that has been able to solve a problem. That is exactly how the issue of the fund coming from UAAG is. So people should understand that the cry that is coming in the mouth of everyone now is the cry of disbursement, and that's what people want to hear. That's even what people want to see from our channel. So whatever thing that we post on this channel, as long as that's nothing to do with disbursement, it's wearisome. It's wearisome. It's wearisome. We that are giving this information, it is wearisome because people want to breathe. But it appears like the organs that promise this are quite insensitive to the plight of the masses. We pray when some matters are becoming too much to handle, it appears like prayer seems to be another means of attack, and sometimes everything is not even prayer. When we have people that are not ready to do what they're supposed to do, they turn it to prayers, and it's not every time. There are situations that don't need prayer, it's just action that is needed. You see? So that is the condition that we are at the moment. So if there is another upsurge coming to scuttle the process of disbursement, zero your mind, there is going to be disbursement. But when we have not been able to know that particular information. So, but if there is anything coming again for the power drunks to see how they could scuttle the process, be it known to them that God would disappoint them.